Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a question that sounds simple on the surface. What can a newsletter really become?
Right.
Because, as we've been digging into successful digital media, it's become super clear that just aiming for, say, $1 or $2 million a year with a newsletter, well, that might actually be thinking too small.
That's exactly the core idea today. The really top-tier creators, they're not just building newsletters, they're actually building full-on media empires that can own entire industries. So this deep dive, what we're doing is laying out a kind of advanced playbook. It's theoretical, yeah, but it shows how a company like Well-Off Media could potentially scale way past $5 million, maybe much further.
Okay.
And we're piecing this together from, public info, case studies, really just showing what's possible when you think beyond just the inbox.
We got it. So the mission today is to unpack 5 key strategies. These are the moves that could potentially turn a successful newsletter, like Well-Off Media's, into a multi-million, maybe even billion-dollar media force. And this isn't just theory for theory's sake. It's about giving you a kind of shortcut to understanding the massive potential out there for creators in this digital landscape.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's dive into that idea. Thinking bigger. We've kind of called this the $1 million blind spot.
Yeah.
It's fascinating because hitting $1 million or even $2 million annually with a newsletter feels like huge success, right?
Absolutely. For most, it is.
But for these empire builders,
Right.
that's just the start.
That's the blind spot. It's the gap in thinking between I have a successful newsletter and I'm building an empire. Think about Morning Brew. We've seen that story. They didn't stop with email.
No.
They went into podcasts, events, job boards, courses, the whole package. And that led to that reported $75 million exit.
Wow. $75 million.
Yeah. Or The Athletic, they started with newsletters covering sports teams, right?
Right. Very specific ones.
And they just kept expanding, becoming the place for serious sports journalism. Ended up with that, what was it, $550 million acquisition by the New York Times. Just huge numbers.
Incredible. So, okay, applying that kind of thinking, what could it mean for Well-Off Media, hypothetically?
Well, the framework suggests they could theoretically become the dominant voice in college sports media. Not just Colorado, not just Coach Pime's team, the whole space.
The definitive voice.
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting.
All right, let's unpack strategy number 1. Building an authority monopoly. This isn't just being good. It's about being the one people have to turn to.
Indispensable.
Yeah. And if you look at college sports media now, it's kind of all over the place, isn't it?
It really is fragmented. You've got ESPN trying to cover everything, but maybe not super deep everywhere.
Right.
Local media often lacks that deep insider access. And some of the legacy names, like Sports Illustrated, well, they're facing their own challenges. There's definitely a gap, a void, exactly. And that's where Well-Off Media has this theoretical edge. You've got Coach Prime's celebrity drawing eyeballs.
It's of reach.
Massive reach. Plus, the family access gives them authenticity nobody else can really match.
Oh,
Their
yeah.
own story is aspirational content, right?
Yeah.
And they appeal across generations, different demographics. It's a unique mix.
So walk us through how that might roll out, like year by year.
Okay, so picture this hypothetical timeline. Year 1, they focus. They completely dominate Colorado football coverage with Prime Weekly. Build that solid foundation.
Okay.
Year 2, leverage that success, expand, launch something like the HBCU report using the Sanders-Jackson State connection, broaden the authority.
Makes sense.
Year 3, think bigger picture, maybe launch the transfer portal, become the source for recruiting intel across the whole industry.
Industry-wide intelligence.
Yeah. Then year 4, expand into education, maybe Prime Sports Academy courses, training, content, an educational empire branch.
Interesting.
And then year 5, consolidation. They're now in a position to potentially acquire or partner with other sports media outlets, start bringing them into the fold.
Wow. Okay, so following that kind of path,
Yeah.
what's the potential revenue we're talking about?
If they executed that kind of authority strategy, we're talking potentially $15 million plus annually across all those properties by year 5. And that's just from this one strategy.
15 million plus, just from becoming the authority.
Yeah, it shows the power of owning that niche.
Okay, that's content dominance. But once you have that authority, that trust, where do you go? The playbook says products, right? But not just more content.
Exactly. Most people think, okay, my newsletter's working, let's make another newsletter.
Right.
Empire builders think differently. They think newsletter builds trust. Trust is my platform to launch products.
Ah, okay. So break down that hypothetical product roadmap for Well-Off Media.
Let's do it in phases. Phase 1, maybe year 1. Information products. Think digital, the Prime Playbook course series. Leadership lessons from Coach Prime himself, maybe something on building a sports brand, maybe even the dynamics of running a family business in the spotlight. Courses like that, priced right, could easily pull in, say, $2 million annually.
Wow.
And alongside that, imagine a documentary, Behind the Transformation. Exclusive access to the family, the Colorado turnaround story. You license that to a Netflix or an Amazon. That could be a $5 million plus deal right there.
Okay, that's phase 1, info products. What about phase 2?
Phase 2, maybe year 2, service products, high touch, high value. Maybe Prime Sports Consulting.
Consulting? For who?
For athletic departments needing brand strategy help, maybe media training for coaches, recruiting strategy consulting for programs looking for an edge. You only need like 10 clients paying significant fees for that to be a $3 million a year business.
High ticket.
Very high ticket. And then think about camps, Prime Academy camps, youth football with the Sanders family involved, big draw, leadership programs, sports media training. Those could add another couple million annually.
Okay, info products, then service products. What's phase 3?
Phase 3, year 3 and beyond. Platform products. This is where it gets really big. Imagine a hypothetical Prime network.
What's that?
A white label newsletter platform. They basically license their successful Prime Weekly format and tech to other sports programs. Charge them, say, $500 a month plus a rev share. Get 100 programs on board. That's potentially $10 million plus annually right there.
Licensing the model
Yeah,
itself.
exactly. And then think experiences. Prime experiences, VIP travel packages to big games, exclusive recruiting events, maybe even high-end dinners with the Sanders family. Those ultra-premium experiences could add another $5 million a year.
So the product pipeline goes from digital info to hands-on services to scalable platforms and experiences?
That's the theoretical progression, building layers of value on that initial trust.
All right, strategy number 3 takes a totally different angle. Growth through acquisition.
Yeah, this is about buying growth, not just building it.
The idea isn't just competing. It's absorbing the competition.
Pretty much. The vision is don't just beat other sports media, acquire them. By year 3, maybe, they could realistically look at buying, 5 or 10 smaller local college sports newsletters.
Right.
Or sports podcasts that have audiences that fit, maybe youth sports training outfits. Even companies making sports gear, potentially. Consolidate the space.
So why would this work particularly well for them? What's the advantage?
It's this concept of the theoretical acquisition advantage. First, the newsletter business they've already built, that throws off cash to buy things.
Right, fuel for deals.
Exactly. Second, they already have a big audience. That massively reduces the risk of buying something new because you can immediately promote the acquired company to your existing list.
Instant cross-promotion.
Instant value multiplication. And third, let's be real, the Coach Prime brand is a huge magnet. Sellers might be more willing to sell to them to be part of that ecosystem.
Okay, can you give a concrete example? Like the numbers.
Sure. Let's say they acquire a niche newsletter, maybe 5,000 subscribers, for $250,000. Seems reasonable.
Okay.
Now, they promote that new acquisition to their main well-off media list. Let's say, hypothetically, it's 50,000 plus people by then. Even if only 10% convert and subscribe to the new thing.
That's 5,000 new subs.
Right, which could translate to, say, $1.5 million in annual value from that acquisition just through cross-promotion and monetization. That's potentially a 600% ROI in the first year.
Wow, 600%. That's powerful.
That's the acquisition advantage in action, turbocharging growth.
Okay, moving on. Strategy 4, corporate partnerships. And this isn't just slapping a logo on a newsletter, right?
No, this is way beyond basic sponsorships. We're talking deep, strategic, multi-year partnerships.
Okay, like with who?
Let's take Nike as a hypothetical example. How could that evolve? Year 1, maybe it starts small. A $10,000 a month newsletter sponsorship. Just testing the waters.
Standard stuff.
Yeah. But year 2, it escalates. Maybe a $100,000 deal for some exclusive content partnership. Nike gets unique access through Well-Off Media.
Okay, deeper integration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Year 3. Now maybe you're talking $1 million plus co-branded product line. Apparel, shoes, whatever. Leveraging the Prime brand directly.
Getting into physical products together.
Right. And then year 4, maybe it becomes a full joint venture. Like Nike becomes a major partner in that Prime Sports Academy concept we talked about.
Wow. So over time,
Over 5 years, a single partnership like that with a major brand like Nike could easily be worth $10 million or more in total value.
10 million from one partner.
Mhm.
Okay, but what about the universities themselves? Could they be partners?
Absolutely. Think about a university partnership network. Well, Off Media could partner directly with, say, 50 athletic departments.
How did that work?
They could provide those departments with branded newsletter platforms using that white label tech we mentioned, share revenue from premium subscriptions, do cross promotions. It builds a whole network effect
And the revenue potential there.
at scale with dozens of universities. That could potentially generate $25 million annually. It's a huge opportunity.
25 million. Okay. And then the really big media players, ESPN, Fox Sports.
Yeah, the media partnership strategy. This involves things like licensing content to them, maybe selling exclusive interview rights, co-producing documentaries, partnering on podcasts for broader distribution.
So working with the giants, not just competing.
Exactly. Leveraging their reach while maintaining your own brand. Those kinds of deals could easily add another 5 million plus annually to the bottom line.
Okay, that brings us to the final strategy, strategy 5. And this one looks towards the end game, the exit strategy.
Right. Because most creators build something to run it, maybe pass it down. But the source material suggests that true empire builders, they often build with an exit in mind, maximizing value.
So what would a hypothetical exit look like for Well-Off Media based on this empire model?
Well, there are really two main paths you could see. The first is a strategic acquisition, probably happens somewhere in years 3 to 5, this plan.
Who would buy them?
You could imagine ESPN wanting that direct creator access and authentic voice. Barstool Sports, similar audience, maybe. The Athletic, obviously focused on sports media.
Yeah.
Or even a streamer like Netflix, seeing the value in their documentary potential and access.
And what drives a price tag in that scenario?
Several things. Recurring revenue is huge. Those newsletters could be valued at like 10 times their annual revenue. The exclusive content rights, especially access to Coach Prime, are immensely valuable. Audience loyalty, the growth path they're on, all that factors in.
So the valuation estimate?
Conservatively. $50 to $100 million, potentially much more depending on execution.
50 to 100 million. Okay. And what's the second, maybe bigger path?
The second path is the really ambitious one, an IPO. Going public, that's probably more like a year, 5 to 7 timeline.
Taking the company public, what would that require?
A lot more groundwork. You'd need really diversified revenue streams across multiple sports, not just football. A professional management team, probably beyond just the family. Rock solid, audited financials. A tech platform that's truly scalable. It's a whole different level of business maturity.
And what could that look like, valuation-wise, if they actually pulled it off?
Well, look at comparable public companies. Madison Square Garden Sports, they've got a market cap around $5 billion. Manchester United, around $3 billion. Formula One Group, $15 billion.
Wow.
If Well-Off Media genuinely became the definitive college sports media company, following this kind of empire playbook, their theoretical potential could be $1 billion plus market cap.
$1 billion. It's a staggering number.
Yeah.
But you're saying this isn't just a dream, there's a roadmap.
Exactly. It's a theoretical framework, but it has logical steps. The implementation roadmap kind of breaks it down.
Okay, summarize that roadmap quickly.
Sure. Year 1, foundation. Launch Prime Weekly. Get it to maybe $2 million annual revenue. Build the core team. Get those first corporate partners and info products out. Proof of concept.
Right.
Year 2, expansion and authority. Launch more newsletters. Start the consulting and service side. Lock in bigger media partnerships. Maybe start raising funds for acquisitions.
Okay.
Year 3, empire building. Make the first strategic acquisitions. Develop and start licensing that platform tech. Get national recognition. Think about going international. Years 4 and 5, scale and exit prep. Become a true multi-sport media empire. Bring in professional management. Maximize those big partnerships. And execute the chosen exit strategy acquisition or IPO prep.
It's a clear progression.
Yes.
But why Well-Off Media? Why is this theoretically achievable for them, maybe more than others?
It really boils down to a confluence of factors. That unique market position, the Coach Prime celebrity, plus the genuine family access. You can't replicate that easily.
Sure.
The proven content ability. They already know how to create content that gets millions of eyeballs and dollars worth of exposure.
They do.
The perfect timing. Newsletters are booming. College sports are arguably hotter than ever.
Good point.
A scalable foundation, owning their email list, building community, that's key. And financial resources. Their current success likely gives them capital to reinvest in this kind of growth. It's a powerful starting point.
So bringing this all together, what's the takeaway for the listener? This deep dive into Well-Off Media's potential isn't just about them, is it?
Not at all. It's about the principles, the generalizable strategies for building an empire that almost any creator could potentially adapt to their own niche.
Okay, so what are those core empire opportunity principles again?
1, start with that newsletter foundation. Get that predictable revenue and owned audience. It's your bedrock.
Right.
2, build real authority. Become the absolute go-to voice in your space.
Okay.
3, create a product ecosystem, move from info to services to maybe even platforms. Layer the value.
Makes sense.
4, forge strategic partnerships. Don't just take sponsors. Collaborate deeply with bigger players. And 5, scale through acquisition. Buy competitors. Buy complementary businesses. Consolidate your market.
It's a different way of thinking. Our research really highlighted this quote. Most creators are playing checkers. Empire builders are playing chess.
That sums it up perfectly. Your newsletter. It's not just a newsletter business. It's potentially the foundation stone of your entire empire.
So here's the final thought to leave you with. Imagine, could Well-Off Media actually become the Disney of college sports media? If they really leaned into this empire framework, the potential seems immense.
The question isn't really if they could, it's whether they or any creator would choose to think that big.
So are you ready to think bigger about your own vision? What's your empire vision?